What final question is, over the past year, we've often talked about how much we enjoyed learning from you because it felt more like an adventure than a classroom. If there was enough interest, would you ever consider creating an Indigenous Scout School where people could learn directly from you how to survive in the world, and all the knowledge that you have, medicines and everything else? It's absolutely invaluable, and I could see it as a total waste if it went to the grave with you, my friend.
Yes. I really have been inspired by the Guardian, not the Guardian Watch, sorry, the Rediscovery program and reinteracting, elders and people like me that have been inspired by elders to encourage like the studies and the processing and the practice of preserving foods and medicines as a priority for our future. So, you know, they say, anything can happen. Like we have like car outages, we have winter, blowout snowouts, right? And
Right.
there's a certain amount of level of survival in and the dire straits that have has already happened, and with the weather conditions is an example of of the need to have an education of our needs and survival and um, medicines and food processing. So I think that um, you know we are our best example of what we need. We know when we're missing something in our diet. We know when we're missing something in our um, medicine cabinet. So it's always essential for the younger people to understand that they can look after themselves or be able to look after someone else, in their family if they had to. So we're so reliant and codependent on the medical system now. You take a pill for everything, right? So it's just you know it's just tough to know that we we need to educate younger people so they can have that value um, for their own future, and uh, the importance of it is a priority for so it isn't lost, right? So
Yeah, for
um,
sure.
I've always wanted to just say that our word of mouth is like was always we're one of the cultures that never really had a written culture until we had introduction to universities and stuff like this, and then they produced a written language, right? So, but
Right.
our word of mouth and passing down information has been with us forever. Um, a lot of our through teachers and knowledge keepers that given something back with storytelling, you know, um, our historical stories and the beginning, our cultural beginnings and, our traditional knowledge with those connections. And then it went into the singing, and these are little tools that were used to give our generation that was given back our cultural values, like with the knowledge of food and our language and medicines. We're like one of the blessed. I'm one of the few blessed that actually knew what the elders were sharing and giving back to our younger generations. So, and I've
Right.
always felt a little bit of gratitude. I've felt a lot of gratitude, but I also felt a little bit of guilt that, that so much of this was taken from our, two or three generations older than us, and just was. It's just it. I find it difficult that we can go through life without even knowing that the importance of all this, and it is a priority to give. that knowledge back and to strengthen it by practicing it. So I'll just leave it at
Right.
that. Mm.
Right. And most importantly, not to lose it.
Mm.
And that is something, that once again, I see you as being so valuable because you've resurrected a lot of lost knowledge, and really commend you on that. And thank you very much, Jordan. What would you like to hear from the viewers out there if they were interested in meeting you and seeing you create a tour? What would you like to hear from them in closing?
On closing, yes, I know it the the teachings can go into any type of culture, and the interest of you know people that are outdoor enthusiasts, hikers, canoers, kayakers, travelers. Buying you know buying herbal books. Is a great start. If they wanted to learn something from me, I would give them the in-depth knowledge that's been handed down to me from many elders, right from mini ferns to slowberry bushes to spring bud blossoms from spruce trees to the different types of flowers like the 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 wild rice, from wild rice to silverweed to just salmonberry shoots. You'd have like a garden out there of
Sure. Yeah.
lush vegetation that we
Right.
can be utilizing in our hikes. Like I said, like our elders, they just utilized from the land. They never really went grocery shopping.
Right.
They
Or
grew up.
relied upon the store. Yeah, it's true. Very true.
Mm.
And one of the things I wanted to mention too was that, yeah, I remember them saying at one time when the tide is low, then the table is set, something to
Yeah.
that effect, right? And I remember a show I saw one time or a book I read about the people who almost died on this island, quite near Bella Bella, called Storm Island. They were stranded on there when their lighthouse got washed away.
Oh, well.
And these people were starving to death when they picked them up, yet they were surrounded by food that they just didn't know how to eat, right? Or harvest.
Yeah.
And very important to know how to, if you want to survive, to know how to harvest and what food is
Mm-hmm.
good to eat and what isn't.
Exactly.
Very important. So yeah, thank you very much, Jordan. Really appreciate you being here, my friend, and I'm looking forward to coming up there to see you.